Now, I just want to state this before, people say, oh, video games aren't bad or da da da. I don't have anything against video games. Nothing. I think video games are great. Just for me personally, it wasn't. I wasn't enjoying the video games so much as I was just like I had to play. Like I don't know what it was. I just got addicted, and I've always been a competitive gamer. Like, I can't play RPGs or anything. There's that competitive element. So I was big into Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite. When it first came out, I was big on Fortnite. And, there's a fine line between loving video games and playing them and being addicted to them, and it's hard to know. But how I kind of came to know that it was an addiction and not just like a huge hobby that I loved was that it was interfering with the relationships around me. Like, I would get a call from my mom while I was playing video games, and I would just not even think to answer it, and I would feel anxious, Or like my brother would call me, and keep in mind, while this video game addiction started to rise up, I was across the country away from my family. So I was in California. My family's all in Florida. So, yeah, they would call me, and I wouldn't talk to them for like months at a time. And, my brother would try and call me, my grandma would try and call me, and, I'd be on the video games, and I'm like, I'll call them later. I would never call them back, Anytime I was gaming, I wouldn't answer the phone for basically anybody. And it was interfering with my relationships. Like, my girlfriend at the time, she would want to hang out and relax on like a Sunday morning, and I would literally sneak out of bed at like 8 in the morning and try and get like an hour and a half, 2 hours of video games in very quietly, like no headset, not talking, just the headset on, no mic. I'd be as quiet as I could to game in the mornings, just so she wouldn't wake up so I could play longer, and it was pretty sad. And at night, as soon as I'd get off of work, I'd try and cram in like an hour of video games before she would say anything. And the crazy part was that I was playing so much video games, and in my mind, I literally thought like I wasn't getting to play enough. Like, I was literally thinking in my mind, like, fuck, man, I never get to play video games. And every time my girlfriend was like, dude, get off the games, I'm like, no, like, I need to play one more game. It's like, literally, it's like, that's addict behavior. So yeah, I was anxious. I wouldn't answer my family's phone calls. I moved out to San Diego, and I didn't make like any friends. I'd literally get off of work, play video games. I'd go surfing on the weekends with my roommate. Maybe go out like once a month with my buddy Cody, who moved out there with me. That was it. Like, I didn't make any friends, and my life just was consumed with Warzone and Apex Legends at the time. Like, that's all I would think about. And then whenever I would get off the games, I'd get on YouTube and watch like videos of other people playing video games, like Shroud and Nick Mercs and stuff like that, and it was just a bad cycle. And so I realized, and I started, it's kind of hard to say, but basically I guess I didn't start to realize. I always thought I wasn't playing enough. But I started listening to this guy called Wes Watson, kind of a motivational speaker, kind of a guy who went to prison for a long time and talks about what it's like in prison. But he's very inspirational. He doesn't glorify prison. And I started to realize that, I guess, my life, it's like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I work, and then I literally get off of work and go straight to the video games. My relationship with my girlfriend was shit. Like, I wasn't giving her attention, and it was like hard to focus on her because I was just so focused on video games. my relationship with my family sucked. Anyways, started listening to this guy, and I realized like my life wasn't going the way that I wanted to go. I never saw myself when I was younger being like a professional video game player or like, anything like that. Anyways, it was the night of my brother's wedding. My brother's getting married. I got super drunk, and I was driving my vehicle out in the woods, like trashing my car. Yeah, where he got married, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere in Florida. There's a lot of trails through the woods. So I was driving my car through the trails, bumping it up and down. I got people in there, like, and I woke up the next morning, my girlfriend's mad at me. She's like, you were trashing your car. She's kind of like, I'm kind of done with your ass. Like, you play video games all day. When you get drunk, you act like a fool. And she was right. Like, I was dropping the ball in almost every aspect of my life. So she was kind of like, dude, I'm kind of done with your ass. Like, I'm ready to go. And I just woke up feeling like such a dumbass, and like just really felt like I was trashing my life. Like my conscience was calling me to do better and be like, this isn't who I was supposed to be. So I kind of laid there that morning, and I was like, wow, I'm trashing my truck. When I get drunk, I act like an idiot. My girlfriend's upset with me. My relationship with my family sucks. And, I'm spending all my time on video games when I love to play, like, sports. And, I used to, like, work out and, just life used to be better. Like, what went wrong? So I decided that morning, I woke up and I said, you know what? I'm taking a break from video games. I'm taking a break from alcohol, and I'm just gonna see where my life can go. And I was listening to a lot of like Jordan Peterson before this happened, and like I said, Wes Watson, and like Jocko Willink. I was listening to a lot of these guys, so they were kind of starting to uplift me, and I knew I needed to make a change. So I said, look, I'm just gonna try it out. Just no video games, no alcohol, just see where I can go. So that morning I said no alcohol. I went home. My girlfriend's like, we both came home. I don't think she was living with me at the time, so she went back to her apartment, and I sat there by myself, like hungover at my house, and I ran to the video games, and I played for like 3 hours, and I was like, fuck me, like, that's when it really hit me, like, what am I doing, man? So that next morning I woke up and I said, no video games, no alcohol. Let's see where I can go. And I signed up to a gym. I think it was that same day. And I started going to the gym instead of playing video games. So after work, when I would normally play video games, straight to the gym. Anyways, fast forward, now I wake up at 6:20 and I go straight to the gym, and I work out for about an hour every morning. I come home and I go to work. I work from home, so I start my job. My relationship with my girlfriend is so much better. My relationship with my family is awesome. Like, I'm not anxious if they ever call me. That anxious feeling is gone. If I get a phone call from one of my family members, I pick it up and I'm like happy to talk to them. I ran a 5K and I hate running, It's just something to do to build discipline. So, my relationship with my girlfriend's amazing. I run a 5K and I'm signed up to run a 10K next month. So I've been training for that. I've put on some muscle, and I haven't had a drop of alcohol or played one video game in 5 months. And my life has changed. It's amazing. So, and also I signed up at a local theater. I auditioned for a role in a play, and I got a role. So you know, things are just going great. Like, ever since I put the video games down and the alcohol down, my life has changed for the better. The reason I'm making this video is just I want to, you know, I want to share my story with people and see if it resonates. You know, I basically just want to give back. I feel really blessed the way my life has been going these past couple months, and I'm feeling like called to share my story with people and try and help people out, and help people see that like video games can be an addiction. Because like when I always thought of addiction, I thought like alcohol and drugs. You know, I never thought video games were an addiction. I always thought that's how I relax. Like, oh, I need video games to relax. Like, I get off of work, I had a long day, I want to relax with video games. But you know, it's like I said, if it's hindering your life and it's getting in the way of your life, the things that really matter in your life, that's when it's a problem. So I want to share this story and bring awareness to video game addiction, and just see if anyone gets any value from it. My name's Sean, and you know, I'm gonna probably keep making more videos and go a little bit more into depth about my journey and you know, and how to work on getting through video game addiction. So if you know, if this story resonates with you and you would like to see more content, it'd be a big help if you subscribed and liked. But if not, no worries. And thank you.